since you all talked yesterday, do you have anything else you want to share that you might not have known yesterday and you want to share for the benefit of the count? What this is nothing more than an account of what's going on, and hopefully others will step up. And before it's open, you all met somebody else that want to talk, just talk to us.
Yes, I like I said, I still got friends that work there. So I still communicate with a lot of men and women that work there. And I don't mind being a voice for the ones who still there and the ones that gonna come along after all this. But I learned something yesterday from talking to y'all guys. Y'all gave me a lot of wisdom yesterday. So the day while I was at work, I was contemplating on the conversation we had. And one of the things that caught my attention was the noose in front of the flag. Right then, for everything that I ever done, every time I went to prison for my acts of breaking the law, I was investigated and I was prosecuted. That particular scene, that morning when they came up, that was a crime scene. So in my mind, after communicating with y'all yesterday, my mind, I'm thinking, why wasn't authorities notified? Not saying VPD didn't do their job, not saying Lyons County Sheriff Department didn't do their job, but they never was notified. As a plant manager, as a supervisor, somebody should have called the authorities first, because that could have easily got out of hand between the cultures. Easily could have got out of hand. So authorities should have been called, because when I get out of that, I'm a forensic type of person. I watch a lot of forensic. DNA hanging right there. So when you're trying to figure out who put it there, DNA is on that noose.
So from what you were telling us today that we didn't get into yesterday, this noose automatically generates some type of a hate crime.
That's right.
Or a crime scene.
That's right.
That should be investigated.
That's right.
By somebody at that company who cares about living beings enough.
That's right.
To investigate, to call 911, the police, or at least his home office of the plant, to let somebody know that something ain't right here.
That's right.
So nobody did that.
Nobody done that, because inside that plant, your investigation ain't gonna stand firm. Should let authority done their job, handle it the proper way. That's supposed to be in the bag. That's evidence. All that's supposed to be evidence. But it never was taken properly. They never called authority. Nobody never called authority. I get a call today, they just taking the flag down. Authority of the police, but VPD, Lyons County Sheriff officers already had this tagged and bagged as exhibit A, B, whatever they want to use it for. Because it had everything that I did wrong in my time of breaking the law, I was investigated and I was prosecuted. I feel the person who done this need to be investigated and prosecuted.
Now let me ask you a question. Why didn't you call 911 when you saw it?
I wasn't there. I quit that job on July the 8th.
If you were there, would you have called?
If I was there, I would have called the police, and I would probably lost my job that day.
And you said that yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, I would have probably lost my job. If I was there, I would have called the police, and 9 times out of 10, I can bank it, I would have lost my job that day. Because I wouldn't have went in there and done no work. The work part was over with when I came in and seen that. Automatically, you pose a threat to me when I see that. To me, I can't speak for everybody else, but for me, you pose a threat for me, so you wouldn't have got no tub. You can't just put all your time into a tub. You got to care about the people. I wouldn't have put my hand on their tub. Authorities should have been out there handling this the proper way. It was a crime scene. Caution tape should have been up right there.
That's a good point. Now, you said that you know of other people that may come forth and talk. This is the Get To Free Press, and I'm George Boston Rhines. And I want to continue with BATHCRAFT and the noose that were displayed. Greetings. Yes, you're right. This is George Boston Rhines. I'm in Valdosta, Georgia. I was just hit up on Facebook with a post about a noose hanging at a business here in Valdosta, Georgia. However, you didn't leave contact information. I've contacted some of my contacts, and I understand that it's a big thing. But if you don't give some contact information, nobody can reach out to address this issue. That goes for CNN, MSNBC, Action News, etc., etc. You got to give information. If what we hear is true, and what we just had happen with 31 people dead, somebody got to stand up. Yes, somebody got to stand up. And I want you to know that since I did this live feed on Facebook, once I was notified about the Noose at BATHCRAFT, I have interviewed approximately 10 people. I have gone before the Valdosta City Mayor and Council, and I have done a little more homework, legwork, if you will. I also have a current or former worker from that plant. And from me talking to the people, all Black Americans, many of them agree that they need income for their families. And therefore, some of them want to maintain a low profile. And can you blame them in a place like Valdosta and Lowndes County, Georgia? The person I have before me today is very interesting in that she had the nerve, or he had the nerve, to come and sit down with us. So you, CNN, MSNBC, Associated Press, would see and understand that if a noose was displayed in any workplace across America, it will be great concern, considering all of the violent acts that we've had recently across our beloved republic. And so today, I'm going to ask this current or former worker, I'm going to ask her to sound the alarm once for her yes response, or two for his no response. The only reason I'm doing this is because I addressed this issue. And by the way, before you condemn me, I didn't know nothing about this until I received a call from the president of the Justice League United out of Waycross. He saw it on Facebook, then he sent it to me, and I started getting more information, and that's what we're doing here today. This is a continuation. In the background, I'm going to try and play the video that's already on Boston G.B.R. YouTube. I did that because I love you just that much. Now let's get down to this brief interview. It's going to be short, but believe me, I have a lot of information, but I'm not going to give it all to you. My beautiful individual, I want to thank you for coming today. And did you come here today? Thank you very much. I addressed the mayor and council at the last council meeting, and I was told that there was a electrical cord hanging from the ceiling. I believe that you may be able to verify if that was electrical cord or if it was something in shape that most people would receive as a noose. Let me repeat the question. would you say that whatever was displayed, was it a noose or something compatible with what people would say is a noose? Okay. Do you have names of people that may be involved in either displaying the noose or responsible for the department in which the noose was displayed? Do you know the exact person that displayed the noose? If you cannot verify who did it, you can verify that there were or was a valid object hanging behind or in front of the United States flag at BATHCRAFT in Industrial Park. Am I right? Can you state that other workers saw the noose? Did anybody get violent? Did anybody injure anyone that you know of? Do you know if the Valdosta City Council or the Chief of Police or the FBI was notified? Not what you think, but can you verify that they were notified? Without calling names, do you believe that the people that was first on the scene to see the noose or in the area was black or white? Were they black? Were they white? Thank you. The people in the area, and from what you've heard from other current and former workers, did the supervisors and others at BATHCRAFT take this serious? So they did take it serious. Thank you. Do you know if they are investigating it? They're not. Thank you. So let me close this out. Would I be right in saying that you have much more information, but you're just not giving it here? Will you verify to anybody that watched this video that this is a serious matter and should be investigated by either news media, the corporate office, the city, or county government, but somebody should take notice because it isn't serious? Okay. Do you think or believe that BATHCRAFT locally or at the corporate office, do you think that they will resolve this issue or address it in terms of finding out who actually did this? So you don't think that they are going? Okay, thank you very much. Let me close by saying this. Have you, now, there's other people who have stepped forward, but have you also provided some type of statement to show that something is wrong at BATHCRAFT? Okay. Thank you. If you, and this is the last question, if you were asked to go and face a court of law, would you be willing to do that? If there's any situation, would you be willing to testify in court that what you're saying is true? Thank you.
To be known that they were not happy in that workplace, and they did everything they could to keep from getting violent.
This is the presentation I did before the mayor and council on behalf of the workers that called me, that met with me. Now, let me say this to all of the citizens here in Valdosta. If nobody in Valdosta will step up to the plate and assist these workers, some of whom are veterans, just like myself. Now, what does that mean? That means that under our form of government, the people we vote into office should have a responsibility to listen to the voices and cries of the people and their children. Why should any citizen in the United States of America be required to work in a workplace where a noose is displayed? Something that black Americans, black Africans know what that means. Why have not the mayor, the city council, the chairman of the board of commissioners, the police department, the sheriff's department, the G.B.R, the FBI, the Valdosta Daily Times, CBS, ABC, Fox News, and other mainstream news media? Why have they not called these people? Why have not the Associated Press? Is Valdosta and Lowndes County that powerful until they just totally ignore the voters here in Valdosta and Lowndes County? Now, I addressed the mayor and council. Two of the representatives told me that it was not a noose, it was an electric cord extending from the ceiling. And that's all it was. In other words, it's nothing to be concerned about, that somebody just overreacted. Now me, I try to be of at least average intelligence. Let's just suppose that that's the way it was. See, I'm retired military. And you don't stay in the military for 20, 21 years without being a supervisor, without taking supervisory courses at the initial stage, the intermediary stage, and then the next level. So there's one thing that I know. Number one, it's supposed to be investigated by somebody. Yeah. In this situation, just like in the military, you have a responsibility to call your boss, who will definitely call somebody over him, and somewhere, if they fail to call the chief of police or the Lowndes County Sheriff's Department or the corporate office to send somebody down to investigate, interview the people involved, especially the workers, and ask them what happened. How do you feel about it? Did it weaken morale? Did it stress anybody out? These are basic questions that Mayor John Gale and each city council member should be concerned about here in Valdosta. Wait a minute, I haven't finished yet. Chairman Slaughter of the Board of Commissioners and each commissioner should be concerned about that, because people are being killed across the nation along racial lines. So we should be more concerned here in Valdosta and Lowndes County based upon the historic archival record. I have the record wherein a noose was displayed at Lowndes County High School in that tree. Do y'all remember that? Well, go to kvci.blogspot.com or just Google Lowndes County or noose in a tree and you should pull it up. Wait a minute, I haven't finished yet. Do you remember under Sheriff Prime, a sheriff deputy had an effigy of a black man with a rope around his neck on his garage. And he said it was a Halloween prank. And nobody until this day know what corrective action was taken, if it was properly investigated. And so we must not allow this to happen. CNN, MSNBC, Rachel Maddow, don't let this go. HLN, you've been to Valdosta before. Victor Blackwell, you came in the KJ case. Let us not sweep this under the rug. We are asking, I'm asking, the Get To Free Press, a social media guy with just 4,300 subscribers and nearly 2 million views. I'm only asking that we respect our black men and women in uniform. Because if the black man, woman, and their children cannot go to work and not be intimidated, not be harassed, not to be relegated to 3/5 of a human being, and nothing be done about it. The question is arising in the black community. Now, should blacks play football? Should blacks join the armed forces and put their life on the line for a nation that after 464 years will not give them equal rights as white people? And let me close, and I am closing now. According to the Library of Congress, blacks were brought from Africa not in 1619 as they have in the history books of America, but the black man was brought in North America to North America in the year 1555. That's 464 years ago. I know the United States was not in existence, but they still came here. And need not talk about the Mayas, where black folk was already here, and they was not slaves either. So I'm fully aware of that as well. And so I'm saying to you that after all these years, 464 years in North America, and you talk about racism, you talk about hate, if after 464 years, and the black man, black woman, and their children do not hate white people like white folk hate them. Now look, if you could make us start what many white supremacists want, and that's a race war. Yeah, we know y'all want a race war. But if we have gone through every ounce of hatred that you thrust upon us for 464 years, and we didn't start a race war, and we don't hate you, what you can do now to make us hate you? We love God too much to hate you, but we gonna demand justice, because the God of our ancestors demands that we never back up, not even an inch, from being treated as you, your children, your grandchildren, and coming generations. You want that for your children, and we must demand that for our children. It's just It's just that simple. And so I'm going to thank you all for listening. And I want you to know that this intro will go in front of individuals that actually gave their words, their information, their feelings, and their mistreatment about this company. But the major question that the voters should ask in Valdosta and Lowndes County, should we vote the same elected officials back into office? If they don't say nothing about this publicly, if they don't take a stand on this, then should you vote them back into office? Should you? Once again, to get to Free Press, George Boston Rhymes, I do this because somebody must do it. Isn't it sad? Been almost 2 weeks. It is. It'll be 2 weeks tomorrow. What have you heard on WALB about it? What have you heard about this on ABC, CBS, Fox, or written in the Valdosta Daily Times, our only newspaper? This will be my 6th or 7th video. And I do that because I believe in the white European founding fathers of this great republic, that we would have freedom of speech and freedom of the press. And while I'm at it, Valdosta and Lowndes County, over many government buildings, do not even fly a Georgia state flag. And that is disrespectful to all who ever served in the armed forces of the United States of America. And if no general, if no full bird colonel, if no lieutenant colonel, if no major, if no captain, if no first lieutenant, if no second lieutenant, if no warrant officer, if no gunnery sergeant or chief master sergeant say anything about it, I'm going to continue to say that it is indeed a disgrace on Titletown, USA, not to honor our military personnel, especially those stationed at Moody Air Force Base and the members of our National Guard Armory. And it is also disrespectful to the mothers and fathers who've lost their children in time of war and peace, and you will not even fly a Georgia state flag like other states across the United States of America. You all have a nice day. Do you have to go now, brother? Do you have to go now, sister? They'll never know who you are, will they? But the day will come when just maybe you can say yes again. Thank you. This is the Get to Free Press, George Boston Rhymes. Bye-bye, we're gone. And I do it this way because I do want to be polite, and I want to understand the pain of what people go through here in Valdosta and will not put their face on the camera because they fear because of retaliation. You know what I say? And we all got to find a way to take care of our family. Bye-bye, we're gone. Peace be unto you. If you all are wondering, while I have my 2 mascots, y'all know I've been using them a long time, especially against Walmart Stores Incorporated. This is my white friend. This is my black friend. You see how they looking at each other? And we're going to have to look at each other too. Peace be unto you. Bye-bye. We go. Okay, that's it, brother.